What's good, Invictus? Yeah, we've moved a little far away from these rune limits. I don't like, because we'd have to shift bullish in order to get to these limits. A lot of these coins, they moved. It's not really like a healthy downtrend, which tells me that it may not hold. Because when you really look, we have the swing structure here. You did this number, that number right there. You could have said this was maybe your choach, and then you started continuing down, and you've started to have a downtrend here, but your new swing high is right here for the 15 minutes. So in order for us to reach our limits, you're going to have to go bullish. So at that point, I'd rather just set alerts and wait for price to then possibly shift to a bearish narrative. What's goody? How you doing? Did you just trade the London session last night? Good. I was hoping. Good. That's what you should do. It's too much time on charts can be a bad thing. Bitcoin's still kind of just ranging here. I think it needs to kind of, I don't know, it looks like distribution. I think Ebo was posting something about the same thing, but it needs to break down from this low right here in order for me to confirm that it's shifting bearish. Bitcoin wants to be a little finicky, so I want to make sure you get that confirmation before even touching it. I'm just going to scan down this watch list. I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing. What do you want? My cat's over here meowing. Come here. But yeah, a lot of coins, see, it's not really this healthy downtrend that I like, because you shift it, you change character, but it's not forming a clean market structure on the downside. Because, for instance, here, if you're using candle closures, wicks, it's actually going to be a little different. So, like for instance, with a KNC, so the swing structure would look something like this. So you come down, depending how you draw it, you could draw it like this. Either way, it's just choppy, because then you have, I think this is actually the low, or no? So then you have here. Oops, I clicked. So you have price starting here, swing to the upside. We'll assume we're using wicks. So choach right here. Then is it even lower? No, it's not. It's the next candle right here. It's just choppy price action. It's not really like a healthy downtrend. So you switch back up after this low right here. If you're using wicks, different if you're using bodies, then you go right back down. So it's just kind of like this choppy, indecisive market structure on a lot of these coins, which doesn't show me that we're entering a healthy downtrend just yet. So with that being said, we can wait for us to get a more healthy downtrend. Like on the 5-minute, a lot of these coins have that. And ETH was one. This one's kind of interesting depending on how you chart it. If you, on the 5-minute, you probably already got your change of character. Let's go to the 5-minute. In the 5-minute, your swing structure looks something like this. And you can see right here, you got that change of character. I think HUD posted about this. And that was really the 5-minute entry. And see, it's been paying off. But the 15-minute for me is what I like to use. The 5-minute's good as well, but as far as for like a more of a confirmation of a trend reversal, to me we're still in this range right here. Like this is still just the range we're in. This right here. That would be this would be our low, this would be our high, and everything else is just internal. Because the way I do it, if I'm in a 4-hour zone, I want to see a 15-minute reversal and shift in structure. But here with ETH too, another thing that I had marked up was up here. You could also mark this candle if you want, refine it if however. But I could see, this is what I know, that Flo wanted this POI as well. He said something the other day. But with ETH, I almost want price to return back up into this region, this 2050 area, because I see a lot of liquidity here above these highs. ETH's pretty bearish still. So, when we're looking at ETH's swing high and low, really this would be your range, and that would put us more up into optimal trade entry, up into that deeper premium than where we're at right now. And oftentimes you'll see this, you'll see price come up, it hits that first POI. When you're looking at the high time frames in premium or discount for longs, and you'll get a reaction, but it's not that strong. It's not a healthy trend shift like we see here. We don't really have much of a 15-minute shift in trend. It's still kind of just doing the same thing. Nothing's changed from bullish to bearish here for me yet. Seems like if anything, smart money's kind of trying to exhaust retail traders and just range, just like how we've been doing in the 4-hour, and then make those explosive moves. But With Bitcoin and ETH, I think it's better just to wait right now because as far as for trying to call a trend reversal, there's tons of range movements you can take. But yeah, that's really what I'd be looking for with Bitcoin and ETH. I like a Litecoin. I've looked at it a little bit. There's a daily zone as well up here. That's far up though. A lot of these, there are these POIs up above as well, all the way up here. And then if you go up there though, you have liquidity above. So it's at this point, before calling any kind of actual big trend reversal, I'm gonna need a healthy 15 minutes shift in structure to the downside. As far as for trading anything where we're gonna swing it, like you can find moves within the daily range. Of course, I'm not saying there's not going to be any shorts till we have confirmed a complete 15-minute downtrend with higher or lower highs and this and that. But I do think before we say that crypto is just going to start dumping, that's kind of what we need. Another thing I've noticed with crypto too is a lot of times I'm going to go and back test more and actually get some notes down, but it seems like really certain coins react to using candle closes as your break of structure, and certain coins react to the wicks. Like if you let's look at TRX for instance, because this shit completely reversed last night. Now, when you look at the 15-minute structure, if you're using candle closes, so we had we are in an uptrend all the way from up here, came up here. Here's where you got your first candle close, because here is your low, here is your high, got that candle close. So now you're in a downtrend. Come back up, mitigate these orders, come down, get another candle close. So at that point, this would have been your trading range right here. So everything at this is where I think it shifted, but I try not to use wicks, right? Because if you use wicks with most coins with with breaks of structure and actual swing structure, you're going to get um, a lot of false signals. And if you look at TRX, it reacted as because if this was your new low, then that would have been your new high up here. So, and then if you look, it reacted as if this, was a break of structure. Price came down here. It acted like that was your bullish shift. So that's where it's kind of um, iffy, and that's one of the things about certain coins that can be fickle is they react to different structure mapping different ways. But the way that I draw swing structure, this would have been your swing because you didn't get a closure. This was your lowest closure. So that's your low. And you can wick down here and wick here, but usually those are just liquidity grabs. But then you can see that price definitely reacted as if this was a trend shift. So that was what went wrong with that one. Because if you see, this was the longs could have been down here, but not using candle closes, you don't really, or if you're using candle closes, you don't really consider that a break of structure. But you can see now that that's how price reacted. So that's interesting. I wanted to look back on that, and I want to just back test a lot of crypto and see, because it seems like wicks for swing structure on lower time frames do work a lot of times. But I don't know. It's kind of that's one of the things about crypto is it reacts a little different than other stuff. Like if you look at forex, candle closures are what you want to look for. But with crypto, I think with so many data feeds and how the volatility, the wicks can definitely provide for changes of swing structure as well. Oh, what's up, JL? I just saw you were in here. Waves is running again. This PO actually ended up hitting, it looks like. They've been drawn a little differently. Yeah, Waves is just on meth recently. That shit is strong. Come up into this fair value gap. Nice reaction of that. I mean, at this point, you're almost looking like you want this supply all the way up here. Market as this pivot whole range, but I've noticed a lot of times too, once you have these high time frame ranges, this inside bar here, a lot of times you might even get your reaction in this zone right here, but then price will just push back up into this inside bar where the actual orders are. Because if you refine to the 15-minute, or let's go back first actually and move it to the inside bar. If you take this, move it to the inside bar, go to the 15-minute, that's going to be a range. And you can refine that range to where supply really entered the market. And you have another inside bar up here, and you can kind of just see where the selling really started and where new supply introduction was, because we had, came up here, sold off, price came back up into this supply, which is another inside bar. That's why I like using these. Satisfy those orders. Where did it start to sell off again? Right here. So exactly. So that's one thing I've seen over and over with crypto is that the initial range or the initial um, you know, the whole range you want to draw on a 4 hour oftentimes gets faked out. Like you'll see price come up here into this zone, and then once price comes up there, you get what you're looking for on a 15-minute. Let's just say you get your break of structure, but then you get this, like we're getting right now with crypto. You don't get that healthy mitigation. Like what you want to get is something like this. Price comes up here, bam, and we're starting to form that healthy downtrend down where you're coming at mitigating and introducing new supply with each swing. But I'm not seeing that on a lot of coins. That's with Rune, for instance. I'm not seeing that. Like with Rune, right here, I'm looking at it. So we have this 4 hour. I refined this, I think, to like a 15-minute somewhere in one of these wicks. But you see the nice reaction to this zone, right? We've got our 15-minute change of character. Really, you could have said maybe it was up here. And there are going to be shorts from that area. But I still see overhead supply. I still see liquidity left behind. It's not really a healthy downtrend. You kind of, and then I see this clean high right here that is going to be a lot of stop losses right below that fair value gap. So for me, that doesn't look like a clean, healthy downtrend. And I think that maybe price wants to push up, grab more liquidity, maybe go up here where you have unsatisfied orders. I'm sure you have somewhere up in there. So we go to 15-minute, go all the way back. See where the selling really started to occur right there. It's kind of like how an ICT order block, or you could even say in this candle up here. But that's the thing about crypto is it can be super fickle. So when you're trading on these reactions to these zones, because like for instance, Forex, whenever this kind of price action occurs, it's usually pretty clean. It's pretty, it's a lot easier to kind of determine where the supply is, and it usually moves a lot cleaner as well. But here, especially with some of these alts, it's a little bit different. Like we could look at this, like, okay, well, supply was in this candle, it came up and got satisfied, and we pushed to the downside. And that's what it looks like. But a lot of times you say, oh, well, there's still supply in this wick. So it can kind of be a little frustrating at times. You just gotta be patient though. That's the key, is just being patient and just taking the market like as it's giving like at price action to you. You can't really, you know, bet on, like for instance, price comes up here, into this zone, and we get a 15-minute change of character. Well, you need to just take most of your profits at the bottom of that first 15-minute leg, because you don't know exactly if it's going to reverse, very well until we get a full, you can't say anything in here is left. That's whenever you can start to get those swing entries, those long-term entries where you can hold for extended profit targets. For instance, let me look at TRX. There was a zone. Delete some of this. This is on the 4-hour. This whole zone up in here, but obviously you can refine this maybe to this inside bar. But the inside bar got broken. If you look at this wick, this is why I'm kind of just letting it have some space and have some time. There's not really a super clear zone in here that I really like that much, except maybe this wick, because you don't really see a ton of displacement here. The only zone that kind of caught my interest was maybe this, because you have these equal highs above it. Nothing really tapped into it. Let's see actually if that's where we're at now. See, that's the thing, you broke right through that. So that's where I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll just do its thing. But I'll keep in mind that candle wicks are going to be what I look for when determining shifts of structure for Tron for sure. And on the high time frame, I'll probably still use closes. That's just, I can't make myself use wicks because they give a lot of false signals. But on the 4-hour, we've shifted bearish right there. So now your high and your low, it's wicky, but the way I would draw your high and your low is that right there. So until we get a 4-hour closure above this, we're still bearish in my opinion, but it looks pretty strong. Maybe this was just kind of an accumulation into distribution, aka I guess redistro. At this point, I don't know if I'd call it that actually, but it seems like you're up here, you want to get that break to the downside, but I see these equal lows that could be just liquidity grab and then move to the upside. But the only area I see any interest in is this wick. Let's see what's on the 15-minute in there. Yeah, it's just not really. It's like maybe this wick. I don't. It's not really the cleanest zone in my opinion. So that's why I'm not really interested in it. But this is a good example of how that can happen, because if you look at Tron, we came into that original zone up in here, change of character, came up, healthy downtrend, break of structure, down to the downside. But then this is where you got to use those wicks, I guess, because at this point, anything in between here is just internal. But you can see price definitely reacted right here. Like this was a change of swing structure for Tron, even though it didn't get a closure. Because if you look, if you're low right here, you did not get any closures below that. But price definitely did react as if you did change swing structure, because it acted like, now this is your high and this is your low, because you see it came up, broke this, right? This weak low, I guess, got taken out. But this is where it's like kind of backwards, because okay, if you're using swing structure, right, to as you're on your 15-minute and you're using the wicks, well then here is your low, here is your high, or you can draw it here, whichever one. No matter what, you came back down, made a new low, and if you're using wicks, you made a new high, then you shifted bearish down here. So that's why it's just so choppy, that and then you came back into this POI, then you shifted bullish, but you didn't really have any, it didn't price it and return to the downside. So that's where it's kind of odd for me on swing structure here. But I want to, whenever a trade goes the opposite way, you want to reflect back and really analyze it. You know what I mean? Like really try to see what happened. And the main thing I can see is just that price reacts to wicks better than closers here. But like I just said, it kind of it's a little weird. Damn, you're still up. I saw you DMing me at like 6 a.m. True. Yeah, I was just going over Tron. Like, for instance, because I remember I saw you said something about it, but because like so when we look here, back here, this was filled. Let's mark it again so you have it. This was that fractal supply zone. Originally, we'd filled it. Price came into it on the 4-hour. That was the 4-hour zone. We got our change of character here. So it came up here, made a new high. So this was your swing structure. came back down, mitigated, break of structure using candle closures. So then this was your swing structure right here, there, and then this high all the way up here if you're using candle closures. So anything under that was bearish, but you can see that this wick, usually I wouldn't use that as a break of structure because I don't use candle, just wicks. I want a candle closure. But you can see that price shifted. I'm actually just going on a different chart because this one's already has a bunch of annotations on it. So here was where you had that second break of structure. Here was a change of character. And then you came down because this was your low and this was your high if you're using candle closures. Just came up, mitigated these orders, came down, and then this was your swing structure right there. So then you wicked, so you wouldn't usually consider this a break of structure unless you use wicks, which I usually don't. So then you come up, but you can see that that's how price reacted, because if this was, if we use this as a break of structure, now your new structure was this. That was your new structure. But that's where it gets backwards, because if you're using wicks again, okay, here was your new high. And then you made another high. So if you're using wicks, you got to use them all the time. So you came up, and to me that this is all they look like clear liquidity grabs, but I mean so did this. But then price comes here because that would have been your low and your high. Then you get a bearish change here. And you come in your 15-minute zone, then you just rock it. So it's just kind of like odd price action to me. Yeah, that's what that's because some people use them, some people don't, and the logic behind not using them is you don't get faked out. But it seems like with this, but here that's where it's backwards because okay, well if this is your swing structure now up here, well then you broke structure the downside here. So you came up, now you had new structure. You broke structure again, or I'm sorry, after this would have been your structure, and then this broke down, and this would have been your structure. So you're bearish. Yes, you're on this 15-minute zone, this old zone, right? So it's just weird. Like it's very odd. But you have that zone reaction, and then if you're looking at swing structure, you broke structure and kind of never look back. But that's just where it's like indecisive price action. It's kind of interesting. But I do want to analyze it and kind of just see exactly how the structure reacts. But if anything here, you'd look for retracement and play longs if you're using those wicks, because then now you have your double confirmation to the upside. But again, it goes in with the notion of just kind of like an unhealthy trend because you didn't really come down and mitigate anything. You still have a lot of demand sitting in these candles down here. This one probably got hit here. So that's where it's like, it's odd. Because you came down and mitigated that, but nothing, you didn't come down in here. And you just continued from there. But that being said, you could look for potential longs, maybe in this candle right here. But going back to that 4-hour, you have this wick up here, but I don't really see any zones whenever I go in there that are of too much interest that haven't been broken through. But because really the 4-hour, and I'm always going to use candle close in the 4-hour. And also what's up to people on YouTube. I just saw this. But if you're using the 4-hour, I'm still using candle closes. I don't care if the coin doesn't. That's just I can't make myself use wicks on a 4-hour because I've back tested that and I know that you get a lot of signals. But if that's the case, then this is your swing structure and you're still bearish on the 4-hour. So it's kind of just indecisive price action. This looks like reaccumulation now that we've broken out. But I'm just going to keep an eye on this one and kind of use it as a case study just to watch and see what happens. I think he was like, whenever he was saying that, it was like way cheaper because he was saying it when it was cheap. Like it was like down in this area. But yeah, I think he was. I think he bought it like down here. I'm pretty sure. I was actually gonna roll on this morning, but I kind of forgot. I've been smoking the little grabba leaves with him. That's the best way to smoke, bro. If you like blunts but don't want to smoke blunts all the time. Fucking waves, bro. Someone else just text me about it. Shit's insane. Yeah, that's where it's like, whenever it gets like that, some stuff, if I studied enough, like that's why I removed a lot of coins off my watch list, because you'll see a lot of these concepts don't really work consistently on most coins. Like a lot of like super low caps, they work, but not consistently enough for me. Like, so but what's weird is Tron had been like, because if we go back with Tron, it was respecting that bearish trend like very nicely. It came up 4-hour supply, change of character, came up all the way, mitigated real nice, came down. You know what I mean? But then it's like, I guess that's the only thing when I look, that change of swing structure, that wick, that's what changed it. But then again, like we said up here, it's just backwards. So it's interesting. But if anything, when you look at this, you could look for maybe like a retracement down for longs. But then again, if you're using wicks, this is your new swing structure. So if you change, it's just kind of ugly in my opinion. But and then going with the high time frames, it's bearish on the 4-hour. It's not bearish on the daily, but most stuff, or not most, but a lot of alts aren't, because their whole range is huge. But this is really the swing range on the daily, if you ask me, because you came up, you had, and a lot of things, I see people fucking up swing structure a lot because they're just like starting over here and they're like, yeah, this is our swing. But when you look, like with TRX, for example, you came down here, really your swing structure was like this. Oh, fuck. Well, you guys know I meant to put that low right there. You get the picture. Because then you change character up here. Here. So, for instance, if you started down here, we'll just start, because we could start down here, right? I'm using closures for the daily. So, for that, you could say, I'm not going to use this low. Watch, let me zoom in a little bit. Actually, did it get a closure? Yeah, it did. It's hard to see from way back there. So we'll start like way back. So you got that closure. I'm still going to use the wick high after the closure, but until I get a closure, that's not really going to be my high. So then you have this right here. What is this? Can I check out B&B? Yeah. So that swing back down to here. Then you come up all the way up here. Because remember, this to me isn't going to be, that's a liquidity grab in my book. Because this high was your old high. Yeah, you went above it, but you can see wick down a huge amount. So then after that, what's your highest point after this? This is actually where we start to get closures. I don't consider that enough for a daily pullback. That right there. And then I consider that enough for a daily pullback. You got a candle closure here. Down to the downside, you got that closure. And then from there, this is when the bull run really started heating up for Tron. Come all the way up here. Clearly get a closure there. I'm not going to say that this isn't, because if you look, and this is where it gets kind of confusing. So here's your wick. You did get a closure here, not this first wick, but you did get a closure. So you could, either use either one of these wicks really. But I mean, if you're getting technical, here was your closure, so you're going to use that. You come up here, Or why is this a high? Because I know you're like, oh, it's a liquidity gap. Well, I'm not going by candle closures for this high. I'm going by candle closures for the low. So then once I have a new low, I pick the highest point between the two lows. I'll leave those there so I can zoom out. So at this point, like with TRX, and this is where crypto, where it's so volatile, it's like confusing. At this point, I mean, everything really is within that range for using candle closures. So that's where it's like, it's kind of weird with some crypto, where it's, this is all bearish in the daily if you're using closures. And a lot of crypto are alts, especially, not really Bitcoin as much, but alts. If you go back, and you can see this range is being respected. We came up to equilibrium, and then you can see that's where we consolidated, and that's where you see a big move started from. So that's what when you're looking at ranges, if you want to see a consolidation and ranging around equilibrium, which we saw here. So that kind of tells me this range is good. You never got those closures under the. But that's where it goes back to, oh, maybe you use wicks, but I just can't make myself use wicks on a frame, because that would have been saying like, this was a new. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're in a bear market. This is your new low, your new high. And you can see that just got completely disrespected. There's not even a reaction to any of this really. So that tells me that's wouldn't be correct. But when you're at that in that perspective, the daily's been bearish on Tron since the last crash. Nothing ever really changed because you didn't break above any of these old highs. So when we come back over here, we go to the 4-hour. Okay, the 4-hour can be different than the daily, obviously, because we had this little bull trend here. I'm not going to draw it all out. And we started a bull trend again. We got that closure here, but quickly reversed because you came up. Here was your high, a new high, and then you close below. So interesting. So price action. That's why it's good to just like analyze stuff and just study it. That's how you learn. But then again, some coins, after a while, I just take them off my watch list because they don't really move the way that I want them to. Like for instance, what's it called? What fucking coin was it? Oh yeah, XRP. It started to move more and more, like with some of these concepts. So I like moving it to. I'll move it to my watch list and watch it. You know what I mean? Like this is more of a healthy move to me. So you have that move up, break a structure, and price goes back up, mitigates. It doesn't just hang out down around here and then pump up, then pump down, and just gets to where it's almost like Jesus Christ. But the thing is, though, I will say with a lot of those coins, using like the high time frames, and huge stop losses, you can trade some of these concepts. But whenever it comes down to like, M15 or M1 charts, where usually you want to execute if you want RR that's what I would consider good, you're going to see a lot of just wicky price action and indecisiveness. So like for instance, like on this area right here, so if you're going to say this is your M15 zone, and if you wanted to well, how about this, let's start from the top. Really, a lot of people, well, this is a bad example, you're not going to, obviously you're not going to use this because it's your last up candle. You're obviously not going to use that. But then you go to you use inside bars. A lot of the time there's an inside bar. I would still use the wick high of this candle most of the time, just because there might be supply in there, but that's still a huge zone in my opinion. Because like for instance, if you're just trading the M15, you're not looking at all the other stuff, you're targeting the M15 low. So it's like that's not even worth it. That's literally not worth the time. So then you can say, okay, well, I'm going to refine it up to this right here, or you could say I'm going to refine it up to the wicks. But then again, it's just all super inconsistent when you do it like that, in my opinion. But whichever one you pick, you got to do all the time. Like so, but that's why I would rather wait for, okay, you have this fractal supply right there. I guess you could say, because if you're using the inside bar, the wicks as well, then you will look. You can always go into the 1 minute or maybe a 5 minute, whatever lower time frame, and look. Okay, like try to identify where the selling really began. So if we're looking here, you see came up, whenever you change character on the 1 minute, which one? There's a couple Y ones. There's a couple. This one. See, this is how I'd look at it. So you had this bar up here, the inside bar, because on these inside bars, you're not getting really a clean change of character here. You see, because the last low was really down here. I mean, so it's not really clean price action now, unless you want to kind of get greedy with it and say, okay, well, let me delete this rectangle. So then you wait till we come up. We started this pullback. Really, right here, price formed a new low, got clearly taken pretty quickly. So, you could look at this bar up here, like, okay, what caused this right here? Well, you could say this bar, but then this up here has a lot of unsatisfied orders probably left in it, because that's where if you go on the 15-second, you're going to get that clean structure here. Now, price comes up into there, new supply is introduced right here. So that candle you were talking about. Price kind of came up into it, and it did react pretty nicely. So, and you could also look at, like, this was a break of internal structure. Then price came up. You had that demand somewhere in here. This is the demand that pushed price back into this. Then demand failed. So you'd look at, like, where inside this range, like what caused this supply and demand flip, and it would be that candle for me. Or you could just use the whole zone. Like, some people just literally use this entire zone, because a lot of times, you remember this, we're on a 1 minute, this isn't much room. It's like a percent. That's more than it usually is. I'll say that usually you can still get like a very tight range. Then some people will maybe place their order on the equilibrium, or use equilibrium to find a better zone. Or some people use optimal trade entry. You kind of just got to back test it and see what works for you. You know what I mean? But you want to get good with specific pairs and focus on them, because especially with crypto, because if you're using the 1 minute for execution, because a lot of shit you'll just see a ton of inconsistency. But so if we look here, let's actually just see if price ever came up here. Because if it didn't, you could say, well, you could expect price to come up here. And this is getting pretty refined with it. You could also say, and you could look at this whole zone, and that's still being refined. And you really think that's still being pretty refined with, you know what I mean? So then, but using the M15 for execution with this, I haven't done it, so I can't say it works or it doesn't. But I mean, it may, that may be a strategy. I mean, it looks like here it worked, but you have to back test it more and more. So then you come up and let's see how price react in the 1 minute to this. Seems like it reacted pretty nicely. When you're looking for that same structure. So really, price broke structure right there. You got that move to the downside, and you see what moved up here, because this was the supply, or I'm sorry, demand. It's like, where did price find a little bottom and have demand introduced to the market? Right there. So then what supply pushed through this demand right here? You could look at it like, I mean, and this is where it gets choppy, because let's look left a little bit first, actually. None of these are really low. This is probably a better way to look at it, because you look at this as your internal structure, but if you get more aggressive with it and you really use every new low, like or a new high on a candle, like for instance, when did a candle break the previous candle's high, which was right here all the way up to there? So this is your low. Then price came down here, demand was introduced, and then got broken. You look, what supply caused that, or we'll go over both possibilities. This is a little more aggressive using, this actual structure because, really right here you came down, still in the pullback. This should be your low because why? Next two candles broke its highs if you're using internal structure. So then you came down, broke structure there, got your little pump up. Here is your demand, and then you look, what supply caused this. I mean, looking at it from a naked eye, you would have looked at probably this, but you can see it was probably still in this wick. But in hindsight, that's easy to find. But doing that while you're doing it, you probably would have got stopped out here using that M1 if you were using that zone. Because I mean, I don't know if any of you guys would have looked over here because you're idealistically looking for the zone that flips demand into supply, which would be these last candles before that move. Or we'll do the first perspective we were talking about. So then you could say, really, because here's your low, you made a new high, and here was your break, internal structure. You broke internal structure, here's that demand that caused you to push up. Nothing over here really. I mean, this didn't break any demand. I mean, it reacts like it did. This would have been a snipe, but I wouldn't have taken it because you didn't break any demand. Like this was your demand, came up, nothing broke. So this is where it's like, if you're using the 1 minute and you're using those internal confirmations, I personally, I wouldn't have taken a trade here. But you can, in hindsight, look back and it doesn't really make sense because you're looking for that supply the new supply that's introduced that flips the demand. So then you could say, okay, well, maybe it's this over here, maybe it's this over here. So you could just draw this whole range, and price obviously hasn't came back to it yet, but we'll just, and at that point, actually, wait, let's see if it did. No, it didn't. So yeah, it's just interesting. It's weird price action. But some coins, it seems like maybe the M15 entries are better sometimes, but if they provide good enough risk to reward. Like if Rune would have came up last night to where we wanted, forming new structure to the downside, then I would, this would be a good M15 entry. And why is that? Well, because the risk to reward was there. But, here it's, or on XRP, it's just not. But I think the market just needs some time to breathe, start to form price action that is cleaner, and then just kind of work with what you have at that point. Seems like you playing internal structure on Bitcoin would have been nice here. But this can show that on the lower time frame, supply is starting to be introduced to the market. So that's kind of what we want because price is fractal. The lower time frames make up the high time frames. So we want to see price start to form that cleaner structure on the lower time frames in order for us to form it on the higher time frames. So at this point, it's just a waiting game. Once Bitcoin comes down, if we wick that out, then we'll kind of have a bearish structure to go off of. But I would assume price will come in its fair value gap, reverse, and that's where we'll kind of watch for an entry. And BNB, I got you stacks. I forgot for a second. I think there was a zone above that I wanted it to tap into. Maybe it did. Yeah, see, this was it's kind of weird for me because really this is where your clear zone of supply is somewhere in this candle, and price didn't go up to it yet. Although you did see that reversal. You did come into this fair value gap. Here is your swing structure. You got to change a character. Came up, satisfied this demand. This is an old box, or I'm sorry, supply. Seems like it still worked though. But break a structure, the downside right there. Then over here using candles or closures, that right there, and then came back up. Seemed like you had mitigated it here. And this is another example of that choppy kind of structure that, because I was charting this and I just didn't feel like I wanted to touch it because you have this 4-hour supply, your actual high time frame POI just above you. And you're starting this, kind of sus price action. Because then right after this, what happens? This is what with Rune. So you have to switch bullish again on the 15-minute. Here's your swing structure. Then you switch bullish again to come into supply. And really, for me, until you're under this level, you haven't really switched. Right? Did you never close those? Nice. That's the low of this little range, right? It is, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like on the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin, you got that. Like I guarantee it probably was like right here. I don't know if you're looking, but this is where you really got that internal shift at probably the 5-minute. Yeah. Actually, it was like right here, but still same area. Or you using internal on the you're using internal on the 5-minute as well. I was okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Which works a lot of the time with crypto too. So I'd say right here. I mean, really, if you want to be, that actually still would be that for me because I mean, right here, yeah, it's like right. Yeah, if it just pisses for me, you get a sniper entry. I think what'll happen if once it clears that low, you'll probably come to this fair value gap, hit into this demand, and then come up and see how you react to the new introduction of supply. Yeah, yeah. I see a move back up into what I'd like is it looks like you have some unsatisfied supply up here in that candle. So I'd like to see kind of like what I was posting, just like get that break of structure, then a move back up, and then just see how we react here. That's what I'd like, but we'll see. I'm gonna look at DXY and see what it's doing because another thing that it's been kind of sus. Yeah, this is why your shorts are paying right here. Well, obviously for everything, but DXY I was looking at last night and I was like, this shit looks like it's gonna fucking pump. Yeah, look at the 4-hour. I mean, it started pumping already. Like I was like, because we got now it's bullish again. The 4-hour is bullish on DXY. Yeah. As of last, if you're using closures, which I definitely do there, as of last, what is it? These highs are or higher. Yeah, I could see it. Because that's really your weak high at this point on a daily, right? Oh, no, it's not actually. I thought it was going to look a little different when I scaled out. Yeah, so that's going to be good for shorts right there. DXY respects smart money concepts so amazing. It's insane. Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah, it's probably monthly. Yeah, I could see it for sure. There's a lot of gaps and inefficiencies on the way down as well. Yeah, and this was one thing that I had looked at a while back is just the accumulation into reaccum with this is insane. Yeah. Yeah. It's really bad. That's yeah, it's what Japan went through. Deflation in a way. Well, we're not going but that's the problem. We're still going through extreme inflation. So that's why when you look at the way that asset classes are interacting with each other, it's pointing to a worldwide recession, not just America. Because food price with between you have commodities, energy, bonds, stocks, and currencies. Those are going to be what you want to look at. And you want to see in a risk. So, for instance, in a risk-off environment, which is what we're going into, what we should be going into, you want to see um, bond charts looking bullish and not really have ran yet. Because let's just look at 10-year bonds and for Japan as well. I don't know why it never comes up unless you hit bonds. But look at this on the fucking weekly. Like this should not look like this whenever you're about to go through what we're going through. Like the last time that shit looked like this was 2008. After 2008, actually. The charts are pretty spotty. But you don't want to see, I mean, idealistically, you'd want this to continue if we are going into a risk off scenario. Same thing with, and then another big one that people, these Japan 10-year ones. Now watch this in the monthly. Or was it? No, it was the weekly. Look at that. That pivot supply. This isn't as clean. If anything, I'd look up here, but I drew it as it reacted to it. But with that being said, you haven't really seen, I mean, you've seen that weekly change of character and internal structure. Yeah, so you can do that, and then also, obviously, we all know what's going on with oil. I use the U.S. oil one. I like the candles better on it. Wait, look at the monthly. So if you look at U.S. oil, yeah, it really hasn't even started. Like, yeah. So that's why whenever, yeah. And then if you look also, so like you can use like SPY and like the Dow and all that for, okay, it's like, does this look healthy to you? like this, it's like, does that look healthy? Sustainable? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, actually, what is, I haven't even looked at, yep. There's probably some clean fucking shorts on this. Oh my fucking gosh, bro. Well, not really. I mean, I guess if you kind of, so like if you took the 15-minute level, you got in, but using the 1 minute, I mean, you could have just executed. Yeah. Like here on the, so if you look here, the way I'd look at it is there was your change of character. So idealistically, you could just play this whole zone. To be, and then you got them tacked in right there perfectly. That's the kind of price action that I want to start seeing on fucking crypto, but you just don't. That 1 hour looking like distro like a motherfucker. And I don't even do Wyckoff. Oh yeah. Literally the top. I want to wait for I want to put M15. I want to wait for this breakdown, maybe play longs back up, and then from there kind of decide about shorting. Like dog shit. You really got exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I see it's gonna be a rocky way, whichever way. The way that I look at it too is like when we're up here in this 4 hour supply, we've cleared all of this liquidity. Like you said, there's tons of liquidity on the way down. But I mean, if we're following the 4 hour trend, I'm just targeting weak lows below, and it's like, I mean, really, that's every low, every single one, because none of them failed to make a new swing high. But um, you'd take profits, probably be more of an in and out. But this all goes with the dollar's bullish. Wait, the world is bearish. It is. I think it is for sure. Oh, I think that, I mean, if you ask my opinion, if we start to change character here on the 15-minute, if I were starting to enter shorts, I would take no more than 50% before like discount of this range. I would look for a minimum, like minimum sub 30K, of course. I mean, you can still look at this 4 hour inefficiency is a big area, but um, that would be for me. I mean, because it's for me, we're in a bearish market on the 4 hour. So I'm going to look for, if I'm going to short, so we've looked for our entry. We came deep into premium. We're at the 4 hour strong high. We've cleared all liquidity. If we get a 15-minute, shift in structure, then you can look to get short at the mitigation once we have confirmation, as long as that 15-minute bearish structure is maintained, and then you can just take weak lows along the way. Because this just looks like another redistribution schematic to me. It's just way more drawn out. Like, let's use like a 12 hour or something, or it just looks like every other redistribution schematic to me. Like up here, like these, they played out like this kind of shit right here. This is what I think we're doing. Yeah, that low, that lit wick down here. Yeah, yeah. Um, you never know with Bitcoin, honestly, but oh no, I know what they. Yeah, no, I know. They used to work. Exactly. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just like I can't be anything but bearish until we get that closure above this. Like I really can't. Like for me, I mean, if you're asking me, if we start to change character here, I mean, we have removed a lot of the liquidity, you know, like from all this down here. But like, I think that everybody thinks that this is the bottom too. I think so much retail thinks this is the bottom. That's the like, yeah, 100%. Everybody I know has texted me, "Yo, dude, Bitcoin's at 30K, under 30K again. Buy." So everybody says, everybody says, "Oh, it's a no-brainer. Buy crypto here." Like before, here it was scary. Now it's like, oh, I'm not fucking up like I did last year. You also look at the weekly, sitting under a weekly breaker, 4 hours bearish. Then we have um, pretty clear targets below of liquidity. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't think it's crazy to see Bitcoin go back, to like around 20. I mean, if we're talking about a global recession, Bitcoin is not going to all-time highs this year. Just not, in my opinion. Now, unless we see some crazy shit where Bitcoin is now the currency for some insane shit, but I don't know. I'll shift my dude. El Salvador is fucking liquidated, bro. Their average is like fucking like what is El Salvador? Hold on, let's see. Really? Oh my gosh. About 500 coins 3 weeks ago. So their average was 30,000, so I guess not too bad. Our GMT is looking where I wanted to maybe long it. It's not gonna be the ideal POA here, but with Bitcoin tanking, I'll probably be pretty conservative with that. Let's break changing character. Hold on one sec, I gotta go grab a joint for this. Some popcorn. Alright, I'm back. Oh shit, shit bounced. Yeah, I wouldn't aping anything just yet. That's for damn sure. Yeah, like fractal supply and demand. Like sell to buy, buy to sell, inside bars, that sort, and wicks or yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Like you're saying, like for instance, like over here. Well, this would be inside. You could say like to that, and then like body, like that. Well, or for just this specific candle, you mean like that? Like for like when you're saying body to wick, like you're saying the like this right here. This is an inside bar. You're or this just the wick. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, when you said body to wick, I thought you meant like the bottom. You know, like fractal for like you can always refine and refine and refine. But yeah, no, that's one thing I was going on before you hopped on here is like lately with high time frames, it's like you'll see this reaction. Like say for instance, like you come to 4-hour body, then you see the 15-minute change of character, and you can get trades, you know, off those little moves where it's breaking down, you know, it's breaking the structure of that 15-minute. But as far as for swinging stuff, you'll almost always come back and stop the break even if you try to catch the top reversal off of just like the first zone. Wait, I don't need to roll this on my iPad. Actually, yeah, I do. I don't have shit else to do. I hate getting freaking trees in my little my mouse pad or my trackpad. No, you're fine. I was just talking about rolling a joint. That's important. Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Was just like right now in the market, like they almost always end up getting tapped. Hold on, I'm reading something. What's it doing on the 1 minute over here? What time is it too? Oh yeah, it's that perfect time for this to happen too. Hurry up and roll this. I'm almost done though. Tried to rush speed roll that motherfucker. Forget I only trade on my iPad whenever I'm on stream, so I was like, why am I rolling on top of it? That's not a trade yet, though, in my opinion. But okay. Yeah, they're nice. That's the only reason I have one. You like the pen? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why. Yeah, mine's not the newest Pro either, so I don't know. Maybe that's it. But I use it. And I was like, I was so excited to use it, and then I used it and was like, what the fuck? It's like, why do people use this? Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, they're nice. And do you have the? You need to get the keyboard for it, Algo. Yeah, I like having the keyboard, not for trading, but just for if you're using it on the go, like because it's a little easier to carry around than a laptop. I mean, me personally, I'd rather have a laptop, but I have used the keyboard on it, and it's super. It's pretty crazy how well it works. It has a little track, like the ones that have the little track pads and everything. Like they're actually, I think they're by Apple. Sorry, excuse me, that's probably loud. Yeah. Well, break. If you're looking at it, like I see people use the term change of character differently. Like the way that Photon teaches it, and is like he uses change of character on internal, but this would be a break of structure if you close, or you did close, yeah. So that'd be your break of structure. You could. Um, that's what I've been waiting for. So I was posting about. Maybe I mean, if there's like a nice. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So what'd you say? You seen DXY algo? That's why. Yeah. Yeah, almost always I've found if you watch the way the market goes at market open though, let's see. I want to see how it goes today. Like if we see the way it goes at market open, that's usually not always, but usually the opposite. It'll go the rest of the day. But this scenario is a little different because you kind of dump and continue to dump. Usually you'll see like it reverse pretty quickly if it's going to. You have to always just pair that with the high time frames, of course, but somebody said you can only hear me on the. It should be hearing everybody on YouTube. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know how to edit the. I'll have to stop it and then do it again. So give me for like 2 seconds. Share system audio. Okay, now somebody that's on YouTube or Hilltop, if you can hear me, let me know if you can hear other people when they talk. They haven't yet, but
Did you guys know that Bernie Madoff stole 60 what's it called? lost his investors. Damn, I'm tired. Bernie Madoff lost his investors $60 billion,
Not bad.
and he got sentenced to 150 years in jail.
Jesus.
He was one of the biggest Ponzi scheme runners in the world. Just like
Damn.
the
How
exchanges
old is he
are
gonna
doing
be
to
when he
keep-
gets out?
He already died.
Yeah, I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he was the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange, and he also ran the biggest Ponzi scheme, worth 64 point something billion.
Jesus
Honestly.
Christ. How did he manage to
Yeah.
do that? Just like taking investors' money and like somehow.
Yep, he was taking your money to pay the other investors while keeping the change, pocket change.
Sounds like 80% of crypto. Just kidding.
But
Yep.
how do they not like question Do Kwon about all this shit? Like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
I'm
Because he's
sure.
in China.
I'm sure
You
they
ain't
are.
gonna get that guy.
I thought he
That's
was in
why you don't
Korea.
invest into Chinese companies. Lesson number one for new investors.
He lives in South Korea though, right?
China lies. Any Chinese company. I don't know where he lives. I think he
He
lives in
moved to
China.
Singapore from Korea.
Yeah. You
Okay.
just don't. I'm sorry. Anything over there, you just don't put your money into it.
Like Alibaba.
Yeah, like Robbie is brave as fuck for putting 100K in there. I would never. If you talk to any professional investor, they'll tell you to stay away from that shit. They don't put their money there. They don't put their clients' money there. They don't. Nobody puts their money there.
I think Bitcoin's gonna come down a little farther here.
I put my money in a hedge fund manager's pockets.
Yeah, your exit liquidity.
Yep. Well, I call myself the anti-market maker.
Mm.
Somebody said, "Can I go over Seoul?" Yeah, I'm probably gonna do this in like a couple more. I have to head out a little early today.
Did you guys know that in the UK, parents are trying to get rid of the peach emoji?
Really?
Yeah, because they're saying it has a sexual meaning to it. Obviously.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah, see Seoul on the 4-hour. We were up in this. I think it was inside bar. No, it wasn't. It was just this zone right here. This last candle came up into it. You got that change of character on the 4-hour now. Which also you've got a break of structure on the 15-minute the same spot. Looks like we're continuing that downtrend. Pretty clean, but I'm gonna be patient with this. You know, I'll watch each one of these POIs, but really, I see a lot of liquidity up here and unsatisfied supplies, fair value gap, equal highs. I wouldn't look for it to just topple completely from here. We just swept this sell side liquidity. As with, I'm guessing a lot of coins are doing the same liquidity raid. So that's what I would look to see. Okay, and Dope Hilltop, you said he can hear other people. I think we might get a little reversal here. We'll see.
Okay. Oof, nice. The Nasdaq's popping.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be that little London close reversal. I think of Bitcoin. This is a 2-minute already, yeah. Might take some longs on Bitcoin here in a second. I'm gonna wait. I'm just plotting it out now, but I'm not entering these yet.
You know, you can have it preset to how many pips stop loss you want.
Really? Oh, a template. I never even thought of that. Wait, how do you? Is
Yeah.
that how? So you just put it? And
Yeah,
it'll.
it's a template.
Oh, that's fucking dope. I'm not sure how I feel about that risk reward because I'd be wanting to take most of it off. Yeah, at the high of the day, which is going to be like in this area. Even maybe lower to be safe. I don't even target that. Doesn't change my candle. Algo, how do you get it to not do that? Because I know you told me one time like the candles on my like everything like my charts kind of sync, but they don't all the way sync. If that makes any sense, it's like weird.
Do you have logarithmic on?
No.
Right click on the. Are you sure?
Yeah, no.
Huh?
Hell no. As I say, I would know.
Fucks everything. Damn. Trend lines just shift.
Not even the
because-
trends lines. No, not the trend lines, but the damn like colors of my chart and shit like that.
Oh, just apply the template. So go to the which one has
This one up here.
template on it.
No, they're not
Okay,
even a
so
template. It's just my saved setting.
Yeah. So click on it
This
on
thing right
the
here.
window. Once it's highlighted, go to settings and then apply to all. Just click apply to
Oh,
all.
okay,
It should
bet.
just
Wow.
there.
Okay, how do I not know that? I've like manually changed it before.
And then you can set it as a template and it'll do it. So if you go back to the settings, just save it as your template, and anytime that happens, you'll be good to go.
So you don't ever use your charts on log, Casper?
Not unless I'm like looking way back or like back testing or something. But even then, I really
Okay.
don't. Let's see what both of these would look like. Could probably choose a tighter stop, but I'd rather
Yeah,
not.
I don't think people are noticing what's happening in the stock market.
What's it doing right now?
It's creating a creek on the 15-minute on certain stocks.
You're a creek.
But hey, what do I know? my head fucking hurts.
You been turning up, bro?
Mm-mm. I don't see the stock market doing anything since they're doing quantitative tightening.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch on this.
If anything, I'd just be cautious about my lungs.
Yeah,
So basically what the Fed is doing is they're dumping 30 billion or 46 billion back into the market of securities and bonds.
right.
They're selling their security because they have 8.9 trillion, which is excuse me, which is just about half of the Nasdaq market cap that they're going to start selling off.
Isn't that insider trading?
Nah, it's not. The reason why it's not insider trading is because it's the Fed buying shares of companies and bonds to keep the market up. It's what stopped the market from it's what caused that V-shaped recovery during the pandemic. So you have to ask yourself, if the money be, oh, Levi Strauss board approved sell 150 million share repurchase. See, right now this is what you're going to start seeing. All the companies in the stock exchanges, they're going to have repurchasing programs because they don't want their stock to dilute because the Fed is selling their shares. So
I'm interested to see how these react. Like you said, I'm not gonna ape into these, but I want to just plot them out and see, because I'm trying to, like, also I like forward testing. Like, even if I'm not taking a trade, like if I think about, like, okay, like I could possibly see a setup here, but it's not what I personally want. You could say, like, because usually I'd rather have like that nice little shift in swing structure, but you did get that shift of internal structure. You have a fair value gap, but like I don't know. I'm not feeling too confident about these just because.
GMT coming to our long area.
Yeah, I got that alert earlier. I think this is going to get swept once
the
more.
RTO.
I'm just going to take these off so people don't long it, because I know people, I hate even doing those because I'm scared people are just going to like just take the long or something. Sometimes that works for people. Like, I'll hear like in chat, I'll be like, like Neo looks pretty fire or something. Somebody just shorts it immediately
we just got the hour
longs
closure.
it. Yeah.
Here, I'll send you what my chart looks like.
I mean, these
But
longs
it's
don't
just
look,
this-
these longs don't look bad, but
Look at or I'll just at you so you can see.
look.
We just closed the 1 hour back
Oh,
within
yeah.
the range.
Is it within the range? Looks like it's under. I can't tell on that by just looking on this picture.
Oh yeah, SPY's gonna come down. I hope nobody's in longs.
Soon. Yeah, this doesn't look like that kind of reversal you'd want to see as much. Not yet, at least. Could change, but like for instance, the SPY, this would be what we'd be looking for. As ES, so I'm charting on. You'd look for a break above that, return to the fair value gap, and then longs. But you have to take that into account with everything else at hand as well. Where would even be the target on Sol? Like up at these equal highs. It's not bad. Well, you can always. I'm trying to back test too with this. Like, see if you like watch how, because like the ICT setup, you would be in a long right now, but I've seen it doesn't always really hit. So I want to see. I'm kind of like trying to mix that with like you using the I guess the idea or the framework trigger as like, you know, kind of your POI, and then just seeing how price reacts. Like, okay, we've got an internal change of character, we're back at that demand, let's see if we get another, and then look at longs like that. I might take these on Sol. Let me put full screen on Sol. One minute. Yeah, I'm gonna take these on Sol here. I gotta hop off here in a sec. I skipped the gym yesterday. See what Bitcoin's doing as well. Yes. I don't know, the ES longs don't look terrible.
Yeah, they don't.
Now they did then, but now
I wanted it to go into 408, so 4,000 down there.
I'll look in 1 second. I'm watching good old Bitcoin. Thing with Bitcoin too is it's hasn't come into this POI, but it is in the fair value gap. So that's the only thing I'd watch on it. I think Sol came back down. Liquidity has swept a lot of sell side right here.
Yeah, I think I should.
Remember when it used to be like a fucking joke that people would crack about, like, oh, you're using the 1 minute, and now like everybody's using it and it hits.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good times.
If it all comes into this demand and reacts. So that's why I was saying I want, like, you can see almost some of these concepts sometimes work with each other, like ICT and then some of the supply and demand stuff.
Yeah, like for instance, in the stock market, only energy and tech are up right now,
Yeah.
and tech is weak.
Algo, what you watching?
Which market? I have
Forex.
charts on my Forex.
Yeah.
I'm looking at GBP, JPY.
GJ for longs, or what you thinking?
Was that
Yeah.
John?
That is true,
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
this kid's fucking voicing forever.
right?
I didn't even know that was you.
Check.
No, I was.
How's Chirac, my boy?
I'm not in Chirac right now. I'll be there in like 5 hours.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I'm in Colorado right now. I like it
Fix
much
it
better.
with Flyer on the daily.
Dude, fucking that dumbass got COVID. That's so stupid.
Ooh,
Flyer.
no.
I was like, let's link, and he was like, yeah, well, I got COVID, so I'm going to beat it. And then he's like, I'm going to Detroit afterward. And I'm like, dude, I'm only going to be in Chicago for 2 weeks. Like, better beat that shit quick as fuck. Like, come on now.
I didn't even know that. Wait, do you know him in real? You and Flyer are like boys in real life?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just know Flyer through this shit.
I was like, oh shit, what?
If Flyer and I were boys in real life, I'd be much nicer with the crap.
See, if you're getting aggressive with it, I'm trying to pair these photon things. You got your internal choach right there. If you're using inside bars, I guess I can't tell which candle it is. The same actually.
All markets look like shit right now.
A lot of this depends on what ES is gonna do too. Oh shit. Oh yeah, my girl brought me some breakfast. Oh, you need a roll? Okay. Now she's like, roll me a joint. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second while I eat, so I can hear you guys still though. If you ask me anything, just let me know.
No, we're trying to hear you eat, bro.
Dublin Town floor price 6.5 ETH.
For what?
Dude's talking about fucking
Goblin
digital
Town,
art.
6.5 ETH.
That's
Free
very-
mint.
I don't know how. Honestly, if it gets bad, all those people lose their money, and it sucks.
Or something, because like, remember how I was talking about smart being able to write something into
Yeah, 2022 is gonna be a year of mass suicide.
Jesus.
Dude, 2021 split.
I'm not even lying, bro. With everyone that's gotten into trading and crypto, like just think about all the normal people affected by crypto.
Oh, dude,
that didn't
Jo,
even explore
this
this
fucking-
space.
dude, this weekend I was at some party and this kid was talking about crypto and he was like, he was talking to my homie and he was like, yeah, so do you got TikTok? And he told some dude on TikTok. I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? Like,
Oh, he gets financial advice from TikTok.
yeah, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, no chance.
I mean, you would have made a nice. You would have made 10 ETH if you bought Bored Ape Yacht Club yesterday.
Not all of us can afford that shit out, though.
It was only 87 Ethereum.
Only.
Holy, dude, that's more Ethereum than I've ever seen, bro.
I think I could get margin.
Maybe if I'm lucky. I'm 100.
Maybe
I
with
could buy
like
two of
maybe
those
with
motherfuckers.
800x leverage, I can get that on the margin.
Fuck that. I never spend my Ethereum on that. Oh damn. Yeah, I hope nobody got into longs in the stock market. I got tired of telling people that no, that indicator is not where we're going.
Super trend? You don't like super trend, bro? Buy and sell?
Nah.
How to get rich in 3 steps?
Dude, it gives you all the fucking things you can need. Tells you when to buy.
Tells you when to buy and when to sell.
Like, what else could you need? Why even learn?
It's crazy that
crazy.
people fall for shit like that, bro.
Dude,
It's actually bizarre that people fall for shit like that.
like, I could deadass just make my own indicator and act like it works. And motherfuckers
Tell
just
it to
fucking
people.
lick left and right.
It's like people forgot the life lesson. Like, if it's too good to be true, then it probably isn't. No fucking 30-second YouTube video is gonna teach you the all-time fucking profitable strategy to trading.
I mean, yeah.
It's crazy how gullible people are, bro.
Bro, I just can't believe people buy these JPEGs for this much money.
I mean, people did it with modern art for years.
Yeah, but modern art is tangible.
So
Modern
are
art.
NFTs.
It's fungible.
Modern art, at least you have the weight of the product in front of you. What do you have with a fucking JPEG? Man, we get hit with an EMP. That goes
Yeah, open sea link. Algo, what you mean?
And with modern art, it's like artists that are dead and can't paint anymore. Their paintings are fetching a bunch.
There.
Yep.
We get hit with an EMP.
Like they're literally selling NFTs for the cost of like actual art. Like I can go buy Picasso. A fucking Picasso.
For what?
For the price of one Bored Ape Yacht.
No chance.
Money, my
I don't,
boy.
I don't think you can buy a Picasso for 100K.
Yeah, you can.
Bro, Bored Ape
Picasso,
Yacht
True.
is
Dude.
A lot of
100K.
different things.
If you're buying some mid Picasso, then yeah.
Some mid Picasso.
Yeah, you gotta be buying that exotic Picasso. Jail. Listen to One of One by Key Glock. You'll fuck with it.
I'm listening to Moscow Mule, my boy.
Yeah, it's pretty mid in comparison.
Fuck you, white boy.
Fuck. Never mind. No. But just fuck you, jail. Dude, I hate the fucking push to talk. Why do we gotta keep that on, dude?
You
You have push to talk?
Turn that shit off.
No, it makes me push to talk. It makes me push to talk.
Oh,
Now you can turn it off.
I think
Yeah.
some people's is stuck on that.
Playboy think I'm
that's on the
the
person.
kind of guy who's gonna leave my mic on and just play music through it. Like,
Nah, bro, he's gonna hear your mom yelling, the fire alarm going off,
dude, yeah, when she's
your
burning
little baby
fucking
brother
dinner
crying in the background.
dumbass.
Look, there was a Picasso that sat in someone's closet for 5 decades, and it sold for 150K.
Well, that person
That's
just
not a
that person
mid-grade
took the first
Picasso, dude.
offer. If they wanted to milk it, they could have milked it.
Nah, it depends on the Picasso, bro. Not all his Picassos are valuable.
Yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, you set the fucking price. If you got a fucking
Nah,
there's no
Picasso
Picasso,
drew
you set the price.
Picasso drew
Doing the
little
Wyckoff ting.
Yeah.
Picasso drew little like pamphlet arts and shit.
Bitcoin just did some crazy shit on the 1 minute.
Did it just go to the downside because the stock market's
It
tanking?
did that thing where it held a fucking boner candle and then got immediately bought up at the bottom. And that was
Oh.
outside of the range, and I saw a fat volume come in. It's doing the Wyckoff ting right now. I want to say that's bullish. But I could be wrong. Because this doesn't look like full accumulation. So some idiot's buying up bottoms right now.
Who you calling an idiot?
You bozo.
No. I haven't made any crypto trades in like the past 2 months. I've just been trading fucking ES and gold. But I kind of miss crypto.
Oh man, Bitcoin just chilling in the fair value gap. I don't know, we still have a chance to reverse here. One thing I learned from one of the Beat the Market Maker videos I watched is that like they'll fucking manipulate candles and they'll just hold fucking candles to induce shorts or longs. Like they'll print big boner candles and they'll just like hold it there.
Josh, I
There's a
can't believe
demand zone right below there, though, too. Smash through this fair value gap and hit that demand.
We're about to break the fair value gap.
Yeah, there is. There is.
I think Russia defaulted on some debt.
long the ruble.
But hey, what do I know? S&P 500 hit my level. Yeah. I was looking at 408 for it to go hit. It has an area on the other side that I would. That's the shit I don't like. I recognize that song anywhere.
Such a banger.
Yeah. Yep.
You just gonna leave me like that, Algo?
What?
I said you just gonna leave me up there like that? That's crazy.
Oh, bro, my head started hurting. I was like, I gotta go see something else. All this anchored VWAP talk is getting my head hurting.
That watch went crazy. You see fucking PayPal? That shit is
Yeah. I was
done.
watching PayPal, Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, and Roblox.
I also have I have Bible puts. Those are done too. Those are just Bible's falling.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, market's coming down.
Yo, these shorts pain, bro.
Where
You
was
still in your shorts from the other day?
No, I just trimmed at it got auto trimmed at 31.2, so now I have my runners going for me.
Mm.
where was the at Jo?
Right.
Bro, what you mean?
What you mean? What you mean? You know what I mean?
Fucking
I've been in these shorts since yesterday, my boy.
100% short with a runner. Fuck yeah.
I called these shorts out on stream yesterday.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, where were you?
Yes,
Alright.
it's a long
Where
day
were
for
you?
me, dude.
That's what I thought.
And so it's kind of today, but yes, it was a super long day.
106.
Can't be doing that.
What's
And it was
crypto,
also
what's crypto at right now?
wait, yesterday wasn't Monday. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yesterday,
yesterday
was
was
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Dude, I thought yesterday was Labor Day, Memorial Day. I was, what the fuck? I'm a bar.
Bro, you're one day ahead of us.
I guess so. Fuck. Dude, that sucks. I'm so stupid.
Because week is almost over. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Dude, I thought it was Tuesday. That's fucked.
How much money do I need in my account to throw $2,000 a trade?
500K.
Actually?
Okay.
What, in options?
0.5% stop loss maximum. So 20 to 30 if I'm using 20x. Sometimes that stop loss is like 0.1 though, or 0.2.
Damn. You flowing that bitch.
Yeah, I was talking to Flo about this yesterday when we were playing Fort.
Dude, jail. I will shit.
Yo, what? You cut out, my boy.
Oh, dude, I thought you guys server muted me, but it turns out I muted myself. No, I will shit on you in Fort.
Okay.
Let's run it.
I'm not good at Fort.
Neither am I. I fucking suck. I haven't played in
know.
so long.
I literally play that game to play with Flo.
That's cute.
No, I mean, because, like, I don't have anything else to play. He's a console gamer.
Flo don't. Oh, he's a console gamer. That's
Yeah.
I say Flo don't CS or none. Sweat.
Nah, bro, I didn't even start playing Fort again until fucking Flo.
And then Flo sweat on Fort, dude. Motherfucker used to make fucking Fortnite montages.
Yeah. Like,
It's just so funny.
He's one of those good players.
Yeah. One of those builders.
Wow. Bitcoin's dumping. Fuck, dude. This shit looks like a full distro pattern now. This doesn't even look like a lick grab, and that upsets me. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to find a re-entry to average up on these shorts. Yeah, because I already trimmed. We got our, 15-minute change of character? Problem is, we might not see this level for a while. If this is a distribution, this is just a creation of supply. We can just dump straight down from here.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie, like you could be right for sure, but every time somebody says we don't see this level, we're never gonna see this level again, like that shit just don't work out. It ends up getting fucked. I swear.
Oh no, I'm saying we won't see this level for a while. Because
No, I know.
from a higher time frame, we just created like a higher time frame order block to the downside. That's literally what ranges are. They're just creations of order blocks, supply and demand.
Why didn't I get kicked out of the stream? What the fuck?
Oh, we could actually, I guess this might be a retest. Oh, we could be retesting the Here, can I share my screen real quick?
Alright.
Alright, so it looks like we could be retesting the top of the range here, so this could actually be a point of interest for longs. Because this is where we supply demand flipped it, turned it into demand here. So we probably have like an order block chilling here. So maybe we could catch longs here. I don't know, but this also looks really ugly. We could just go straight down.
Dude, what the fuck? What's up with Adam? That shit's at like $10. It's so weird. I was like disappeared for a few weeks because I like finals and shit, and I had to like catch up on a bunch of work. And then I come back and my port is just absolutely fucked. Like it's looking like dog shit, and I'm like, come on, bro.
Volume says we have a lot of demand in this range though, which is why I still think it's accumulation. But this is what I was talking about earlier. We could do something like this where it's a double bust.
Yeah,
I've seen Bitcoin create this fuck ass pattern before. I think it goes like this. It literally is just like it's literally like this.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was gonna come take that like low or it fucking moved up.
We could either take this lower, or we could once again come back and retest the demand in here. I think I have the demand somewhere. Yeah. No, this is the fractal. Oh yeah, this is the fractal zone, but there's a smaller. I think it was like off the 50% of the wick. Because wicks are also just fractal zones, so you can play the 50% of it. You'll see that's actually what we did over here when we came up. This wick right here, because we never violated the wick as a selling climax. You could have played the 50% here. But that's like how wick filling works. So we could probably do something like this. Or we could do this. I think one thing ICT taught us is that we could also come back to our created range. We could even do this off equilibrium. Let me get rid of this real quick.
Are you gonna look for an average up or no?
If I've seen Bitcoin play out the way I usually see it play out, we're just gonna fucking dump straight down. We'll probably have a little redistribution pattern here and then go straight down. If there were gonna be any entries, I think they should have been over here. But yeah. Damn, these shorts. Yo, did you catch those shorts with me yesterday? Yeah, because we were looking at them together. Aww.
Yo, JL, you still trying to buy me Chipotle or no?
What? Fuck you, dude. It was just my birthday. You buy me Chipotle.
It's just my birthday too, like a week ago.
Yeah, my birthday was 3 days ago. Fuck you, buy me Chipotle.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. You don't know what to fucking say. Buy me Chipotle.
No, I haven't made fucking dick for money in the past like week, so you gotta buy me Chipotle.
Bro, what?
I haven't made anything in the past like 3 weeks. I haven't done anything. I haven't taken any trade. It's like one, and it was because Milan made me FOMO, and then I got fucked. Dude, it was so
Milan made me
fucked.
FOMO.
And if I did
Yeah,
FOMO
this would
and I
be,
waited 10 more minutes, I would have been paid as fuck. But
This would be our creation of supply reader order block. So this is gonna be a zone that we're gonna come back up and touch in the future. Or probably be this whole area. Yeah, that looks about right. I don't know, where are you looking at for longs? What the fuck is this?
yo, Algo, you said you were looking at fucking GJ longs?
All my shit got messed up.
Cause this shit looks boof as fuck, not even gonna lie. Maybe I'm tripping though, which is most likely the case, but
Alright, whatever. I think the we're bullish on the 15-minute right now, right? Wait, sorry, let me rephrase that. We broke this here. We broke this here.
yo, JL, can you look at GJ,
GJ, what the fuck is GJ?
GBP, JPY? I'm saying
Oh,
that shit looks like a fucking short and a half.
GDP JPY.
Like
GPP.
on a high time frame, like I mean, I don't know. I guess it's still bullish, but like
Did you say GPB JPY?
GBP, JPY.
Yeah, GBP JPY.
Yeah. Yes, the British pound and the Japanese yen.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. What about it?
Don't that shit look like a short, or am I tripping?
Does it look like a short?
Like I'm saying, like that shit looks like a short, like pretty much right now. Well, not like I don't know. I haven't looked at lower time frames. I just been looking at like the hour and like the daily.
That shit looks like a fat double bottom.
Double bottom, bro.
Yeah, bro.
What the fuck are you looking at? Oh my God, bro.
The monthly.
Oh.
Yeah, your weekly's bullish, my boy.
On GJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, this shit, like,
The
I mean,
weekly's
yeah.
bullish. The market structure is bullish.
No, like, high time frame is bull as fuck, but, like, look at daily and then, like, the hourly. Because it's in, like, a daily, like, I don't know, man. It's in, like, a daily supply zone. And then hourly, it looks like it's distributing, like,
It looks like all you did was tap into a higher time frame supply, and then you got a pullback.
yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, look at 1 hour, bro. That shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying you tapped in a weekly supply and you had a weekly pullback. So now I think you're going back up to break said weekly supply. And I think Japan is on track to become what is it? Like the most like the best country.
Oh, like, you're
GDP.
talking about, like, the currency, like, becoming, like, the.
No, their economy. Their yeah,
I
I think their
was
economy's
saying
about to
some
boom.
shit, bro.
My girlfriend was saying some shit about it. But I think it's their GDP has gone up by like fucking good amount of percentage.
Yeah, they're coming out of like the lost decade as well.
Yeah, didn't they have like a shit year or something like that? Because Algo was talking about not that long ago that they were just like, like JPY is just fucked. Like, I'm saying it was probably like 5-6 weeks ago. Yeah. But no, Jay, I see what you're saying on like the weekly and all that. But I don't know, man. I'm getting
Here, I'll
trigger
just
happy.
fucking live tried it for you real quick.
I need to make a fucking play on my fucking funded account or
I've
else
never really charted Forex before, but here, I'll show you.
it is weird going all the way monthly down. Yeah, no, it is so much cleaner, but
Alright, so you got your supply zone
that
here.
confused me.
Do
'Cause
you
I
see
go,
my stream?
let me see what I'm saying. Yeah.
Alright, so
Wait, what
yeah,
the- it has you on Bitcoin right now.
bro, I'm not on Bitcoin.
Oh my
You're
God.
bugging.
No, I'm far. Yeah, I'm on Casper stream. Alright, let's see.
Alright, so wait, this is even better. This looks like a fucking daily flip zone right here. Or no, it's not a flip zone yet. Alright, so you got a low here. You grab liquidity, bullish, bullish, bullish. So monthly's bullish. I don't think you broke any lows here. Let's see. This is a weekly time frame, so I don't know if I'd consider that a break of structure. Probably liquidity grab. This is bullish. Structure. Oh, okay.
Join this.
Oh fuck! The fucking preference says that shit, so you can't see it on the daily or the weekly. I fucking hate Ben's dude. That shit's so annoying.
You get the idea. This is a change of character right here, though.
Yeah.
So from here to here, this is when you start thinking that GPB, JPY is fucking bullish again. So you have this breaker structure to the upside, that or this internal range. This means this would be your quote unquote strong low. It got protected here. So the goal of this low right here is to take out this high at 196.78. So let's see what else we have here. This all right, this is actually, is this the low? Oh, this is the lowest low. So you have this zone right here as well. All right, you haven't retested this zone as demand yet, but I would say this right here is a flip zone. Yeah, this flip zone, you retested it here as supply, and then you traded through it, so you flip this into demand here. So here's your weekly supply I was talking about. So price objective right now wants to come up here and take out this high, because like I said, you're respecting this low so far. I want to say you swap to bullish structure here, so you should expect this or anticipate this as a weak high. I'm trying to think if this is still bearish in a way. This would be a break of structure. You don't have another break of structure here.
Maybe look at like, I mean, I don't know. The FXCM data feed might be longer, if that's what you're like trying to see if it's like.
Oh, do I need all the? Dude, this is a monthly chart, bro. I'm not trying to go back to fucking the 60s.
Fair enough. Dude, I'd be looking at the monthly chart on gold going back to like the fucking 1930s.
I'm just trying to use market structure
The
logic.
market structure's bear from the 1930s.
Because like this is bearish, right?
I mean, yeah, from the looks of it. And I'm only trying to short it for like a day trade kind of thing. I'm not thinking this shit's gonna die.
All right, like this is really good right here. Accumulation, increasing volume on the moves up. Sideways action, downwards volume. I want to say that your objective is to continuously go up. So I would see this as a pullback from weekly supply. If you come down to the daily, wait, let's see. Bullish. Internal is bearish. This is bullish. This would be strong low. This would be high. Strong low, new high. Okay, so here they here. You have your breaker structure here, and then you have this breaker structure here. This right here would be a minor pullback, so you actually have your change of character for the daily here to the downside. You have your break of structure. This is your minor internal low, strong low, which got broken here. So I would see this as a possible high. All right, so you could do something. You could do something like this
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
because you have your internal breaks of structure here on the daily, which means your daily is now swapped internally bearish. So this would be your quote unquote strong high. As you start to make more lows. Let's see, you have a shit ton of liquidity here, like a fucking pool of liquidity right here.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at shorts because I was like,
So
I gotta take that out.
price is definitely going to be gravitating towards here. Yeah, I could definitely see you forming a lower high here, taking shorts here, and then targeting all of this liquidity here because you haven't retested this supply demand as demand yet. So this is a little too far into the future, but you could maybe do something like this.
Yeah. Like go grab that lick, hit the fucking demand zone.
But from a structural standpoint, yeah, I want to say this is a breaker structure to the upside. This is your minor pullback. So this is your daily change of character indicating that you're going to start seeing some sort of bearish movement. And then you broke this structure point here, which kind of confirms what's it called? Which kind of confirms that you want more downside and that you could be possibly reversing or starting a higher time frame pullback.
Mm-hmm.
So if your daily is just swapped bearish, yeah, you could start something like a weekly pullback and come all the way back down to like 145.
That'd be prime. That'd be perfect.
And that would realign yourself with the overall higher time frame bias because using photon logic, this would be a lower high, this would be a lower high. This right here could be a lower high, and you could take out all of these lows, and that would create a nice long fucking trend line of some sort.
My bad, I was on the phone.
So build up like even more liquidity. But yeah, I see why you're thinking short. So for now, because this is a daily chart, so you have a long way to go because I think this is Forex, right?
Yeah.
Forex doesn't fucking pump this much in a day, I don't think.
You'd be
Because they
surprised with
have-
that pair.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I know they just
GJ
have
does
a,
go wild.
I know
GJ's
they have a
wild.
lot of rules and like regulations in Forex.
Well, so GJ standard pips deviation for like a range can be like up to like 50 to 70 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, John?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, that's right. Like GJ is like it moves pretty crazy. So like as far as like majors, that's gonna be a more volatile pair. So like for instance on like euro dollar, you can have like those 2 to 5 pip stop losses pretty consistently with most, and then a lot of moves even on the lower time frames with GJ will be much wider. Yeah.
GJ's a movie for sure.
One thing I'm watching on Bitcoin though here is we're starting to come down into this last bit of demand. If we refine it back to the last candle, you could refine it fractal to even the 1 minute if you wanted and get way down here in these candles. But for right now, if you mark this whole zone, that's that entire 15-minute candle right there. Like I'm pretty sure you could refine it. It's refined to the body, it looks like. You can mark it however, but I'm just gonna leave this because we've seen price attempt. It's starting to attempt to go bullish. Like we saw one attempt here. There's not enough demand. The supply was still in control, right? So we came back here. Where was it? We got another one. Oh yeah, right here. So supply tried to, or demand tried to take over. We broke, but then that supply is still overpowered. So we can still see that supply, new supply introduction is still occurring. So, but once we can see that order flow shift, we could maybe look for some longs, but it's only once and if that happens. So I almost want us to go down into this zone minimum and this is what I'm seeing over and over. Like you were saying too, JL, with crypto, like Forex, a lot of times you'll see that reaction in this zone. Like you can get a 1 minute change of character in like this entire zone, and that'd be the first one, be a nice entry. But with crypto, you'll see fake out on fake out at that point if you're using like a
Yeah.
single confirmation. So with crypto, it's more one thing I'm trying to like refine about these supply and demand zones, because I think that is you know, a lot of people's problem is it's almost like you either get that last candle is almost like the minimum for a lot of with a lot of crypto, and then if you have inside bars, those usually hit, or those fractal perspectives on supply or demand.
Yeah, it all depends on the time frame for me.
Yeah.
But looking at like what we've basically printed on the hourly now, and I think we just had a 4-hour closure.
Oh, it looks
I would
bearish as
not-
fuck.
This looks bad.
Yeah, bearish as fuck.
Especially because we haven't
You have
we
this
never
guy here
came
as
up and
well.
had our 4-hour change of character, that 32,650.
Oh
So
no, I mean, I'm
if you
bearish
think
as
about it,
fuck.
within that whole wick is our strong high, and we could basically respect our strong high here.
That's what I was trying to tell you yesterday. I was like, I think we're gonna die from here. I don't think that, and if we did get a lick wick up there, I think it would just be a 4-hour wick. But at this point, I don't even see the logic for that. But like, I think that, I mean, because really, like, even if we're looking at the larger Wyckoff thing, like whatever, where we're like, you know, this is our spring or whatever, the secondary test, I could
Yeah.
see it for sure. But for me, I'm not confirmed until we get that change of character, because I'm just going by market structure as like look at that 4-hour. Oof. But the what's it called? I just want to see like a closure above that before. But I would see that if that happened. But until then, I just see this as like a retracement mitigation.
Right.
But you can see here too, once we got this break of structure, sorry, excuse me. Once we got that break of structure, you know, we had seen a pretty healthy introduction of new supply into the market, but you did leave one zone. Like this inside bar really barely got tapped, if it even got tapped. I don't know if it did. I don't think it really did. If you use the wick, it did. But if you're the 1 minute, this is kind of, you know, going a little crazy. You could see that it kind of did get it hit into here. So with that being said, you know, you could want to see a retracement up to here if you wanted this inside bar. But I mean, the way I look at it, the new introduction of supply has been pretty clear. It's here, which, you know, you could have taken entries before even this break of structure, the downside. But for me, I just wanted to wait because we were this high up and we're in the 4-hour zone. I think that, you know, once you get that change of character in the 15 minute, and now the 15 minutes bearish, okay, now we can look to short it, you know, because I see this as pretty healthy mitigation. Where I would look to short is probably up here in this zone right here. You could draw like this or however, but you can always go in and refine that, because I really see the selling started right there, and that's like the main unmitigated zone. Be like that right there. All of this really, but this would be the first one. That's kind of what I'm going to keep an eye on, is if we return up there, that's where I'll look to probably get short. But because, you know, I think that it's pretty clear that we're bearish right now. But at some point after
Yeah.
that break of structure, I do want to see a can't even think of the word. Oh yeah, a pullback. Brain's dead, from one of these zones, or after we sweep liquidity. But like you said with Bitcoin, you may not even see it. Like you may just see like a complete dump. You know what I mean? Like that might have just been it up there. But
Yeah, that's why those fair value gap, like 15-minute confirmation entries hit. Because
yeah, no, the fair value
like,
gaps
the top
are fire.
of like the accumulation or distribution.
The fair value gap, that was a perfect like snipe entry at the top. No, I like literally, if I was in that still, like if I were you and still in it, I would just have your partials and just stops at entry at that point. Like just hold, like talking to like the lows of this range.
Well, shit. Sounds like a good day's coming.
Yeah, I think that probably about to head to the gym here in a second, which is unfortunate because we're finally coming into these zones. But I'm gonna be on the lookout for a return up to those areas. But usually, I think I don't know. Like JL said, we've seen a pretty rough morning. Also, I haven't really looked what stocks are doing, but unless we see a reversal across all markets, I feel like the blood will probably continue for a little bit. So 4-hour to me.
Damn, I
looks like
shouldn't have. Oh well. I got to get in that habit because I've been in profits, but I've always like not trimmed, and then it goes back down to fucking break even. So I got to get in the habit of just taking some. And
Yeah, if you trim like 25% around like 4R, you just can leave your original stop, or there's a lot of different ways that way, like even if your target's really far, you still have like a very defined area that you take profits, no matter if there's a TP there or not. You know what I mean? Like you have to have like those rules to where you can make it thoughtless, like a thoughtless process. Yeah, let's see, Bitcoin's not really showing any signs of reversal just yet.
Fuck. This is why I want to put a minimum of 2 Gs per margin every trade.
Yeah, you got to just be consistent with your stop loss. So like that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because that way, like you're always making for every R. Like say if you have a 10R trade, well, theoretically, if you held it to the end, you'd make 10%. That's the only way. Like if you're gonna like over time, in my opinion, that's the only way to make a lot of money, because you compound your position sizing. That's the trick to it. Because once you make, say for instance, if you make 5% on the day, you're the next time you come back, that position size is going to be bigger.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So then you can weather a little bit of losses, and then that the losses go the same way if you take too many. But as long as you don't even have to have a positive win rate per se, but if you have a higher average P&L, so like there's like you could have that higher win rate, but you're with really wide stops, and you have maybe a higher strike rate but less P&L, and you can still be just as profitable. It's all just goes into like developing a style that's consistent. Because there's like using like lower time frames isn't for everybody. Like some people have like shit they got to do. You know what I mean? Like, and if you can't be on the charts, it's not like that's not the way. Like you got to be watching.
Yeah.
If you can, you know what I'm saying? So like that's why it's like M15 is good for some people. I still like the M15 if you can get good risk to reward, but in these ranging conditions, you can't really get that with those 15. You know what I mean? It's like max like 3-4R ever, and that's like full TP. Yeah, Bitcoin's not showing much any signs of strength here. If anything, you may even look down here in that lower 15-minute zone. But this has already really been tapped into. Because the thing is with Bitcoin, when you really look at this, when going by just like basic supply and demand, this is the demand that sent you up somewhere in this wick. So it's like if you don't reverse at this point, somewhere around here, you're looking pretty fucking weak.
Yeah, usually when in patterns like this, those are the zones I don't pay attention to.
Yeah, because you can just tell the supply is just heavily in control. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, like the only reason that pump ever happens is to put us into the distribution range in the first place.
exactly. So it's like you have to really
So a
wait.
lot of people will try and take the order block and long that.
Yeah, just like set and forget and just get wrecked.
Exactly.
That's why I don't really like setting forgetting it. That's the main reason of using the lower time frames, other than of course risk to reward, but is just to wait. You know, you might have to take more entries, but if you can get that, once you get those confirmations, you're going to be a little bit more apt to take longs. Because like here at this point, some people are already long, and who knows, they may be right, but they don't know until it's, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's like they'll just try to long the order block and get clapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering where the hell this noise was. I forgot I was on your stream. I was like, what the fuck? Like cars drifting.
Wait, I'm still streaming?
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking
I have it turned way
fucking
down
runners
because
at.
you showed me you pulled up TA and I was watching it. I forgot it was even like I was even on that. And I was like, wait, why is there? I was looking around on my other screen like, what the fuck?
Yo, I'm dead.
That shit is funny.
I fucking hate the push to talk. This shit's so annoying.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know why it's like
Market
that.
is bearish. Bearish.
Listen,
Let's go look at my SPX chart.
Don't look at XPX.
Oh my god. That's hot as fuck. That looks so good, bro.
I've just been
Should've
riding
took
these
a dive.
fucking shorts all day. Just been riding them. Pause.
what's even worse about the push to talk is every time I fucking do it, it messes up my trading view because it pops up like the ticker search thingy.
Nobody asked.
It's so annoying. You know what, JF? You know what, JF? Fuck you. Okay.
You know what? I asked. Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
I asked.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yo, fucking peep the SPX chart in crypto chat. We retraced perfectly, bro. It's time to shit.
I'm watching it.
The
Not watching
SPX.
the 4 hour just slapped right into that supply.
Yeah, Glacier asked me to fucking chart SPX like I want to say a few weeks ago. Or a
Oh
week
yeah,
ago.
no. Yeah.
We came right back up, bro, and tapped that breaker that lines up with ICT, the optimal trade entry. That's 70.5, and we immediately fucking sold off from it.
Yeah. SPX is looking nice.
I wonder, do I swing these shorts or just nah? Probably good.
Oh, that means we might be ready for our next leg down.
Yeah. 100% crypto.
No, on fucking
Oh, you're
Everything.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
basically on everything.
Kind of
Yeah.
runs off.
Here, look
Yeah.
at the daily chart.
Yeah.
That means we're coming to take like 37.30 next.
Definitely after lunch hour. After this hour. Definitely. When they come back.
I think we'll dump, bro. I don't think we're gonna dump that bad though. I don't think we're gonna break this zone today.
I don't think they want to trigger circuit breakers. They've been doing a good job not doing that for the past couple months.
Not doing what?
Popping circuit breakers. Like if the market drops like 5%, they're like halt trading.
Damn, so spy puts would be paying me right now, right?
Yeah.
If I can
With
read
strike.
the SPX chart, I can play spy calls and puts.
Just play futures.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'd fucking just run it on.
run the 0 days today.
Oh yeah, it was Wednesday.
Oh, bro, the 0 days would have gone crazy today.
Oh yeah, 0 days are crazy on SPY. Wait, are there 0 days? I thought there was only 0 days
on Wednesday.
Or no, SPYs are it's
There's
SPY.
0 days on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is right up my alley right now.
Nah, bro. Fucking
I mean, on a
9:30.
Wednesday,
9:30 open, bro.
Sunday.
Puts actually would have hit because we tapped that. So we literally tapped that supply zone and then sold off.
Dude,
That's
I'm about
crazy.
to full port some calls.
You're gonna trade SPY, trade
Oh my
SPX.
god, bro.
then
There's a change of character right there.
Long term
I'm about to bring Photon to fucking
Oh, it
options
hit.
again.
It hit. You need to use it on. I would just play ES though, bro. There's way more money. Well,
Yeah, that's what I was just
I
like
mean,
saying.
I don't
Like,
know. I mean, if you hit
Aren't they
0
all the
days,
same chart, just different liquidity providers or whatever?
well, it's just
there's
like how
different
much,
charts, but
and like the way you play it is
different
different. If you're
contracts.
playing options, that's a lot different than just like playing the minis.
You
You
can
know what I
make
mean?
more money sometimes on 0 days, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. But I
Well, I'm
like.
saying I don't know how to trade any of the other indices. Like I've only ever traded stock options before.
Well, it's just okay. So, for instance, like on ES, I think there's like you can play it on. So you can use discount leverage, which is like playing on like a forex broker. You can play like SPX or whatever, which is like the equivalent.
Right.
But like if there's like regular contracts, which you have to have per contract. I think you have to like right now like 24 to 26,000 to open per contract. But they move $50 every tick, which is every 25 cents, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or is it every penny? I can't remember.
25.
25, that's right.
So,
And the minis,
yeah.
the minis move $5,
Those are the E-minis, right?
Yeah.
and then they take
That's
like
what
12 to
John
1400
plays.
of margin.
Yeah, Algo was telling me about these.
Yeah, that's where the money's at, in my opinion. I mean, well, just the way that
So
I
I
like.
shouldn't play spy options
If
off
you
the
want to
SPX
degen,
chart then.
I would just use
You
a spy
could.
chart. You could. I mean, I would
There's
use a spy
minis
chart.
and micros.
You could, but you definitely want to look at the SPY chart as well if
Yeah.
you're going to be doing that.
I would just play options on
Like-
SPX because with SPX options, 60% of it's going to be taxed as long-term gains regardless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's cash settling instead of share settling. Like if you hold it into expiration, you're not going to get assigned and end up with a bunch of XPX shares. It'll just give you that amount in cash. Yeah, index options are different for taxes.
Either way, though, I'm saying just run that shit on like a funded account or like a discount like Forex broker or something like that. Or even just like run the E-minis off like TD. Like you'll be much.
Yeah, that's
You'd be
I would
raking in.
recommend that.
Yeah, I mean that's the best case scenario, but
Yeah, and they have the micros if you want to do like it's only I think like 2,000 you have to put up per contract for those.
yeah.
How much
That's
do you
definitely
need how much do you need for a TD account?
I mean, as long as you have enough to
Yeah,
put up,
is there
I
like
think
a
it's
minimum?
2,000. I think it's
For
like
the
2,000.
minis, I'm pretty sure you need like 25K, right, Casper? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's
For
right.
the mini you
No,
do,
no, no,
but
no,
for the
yeah.
micros, the micros are a tenth of the size.
That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to say
yeah.
earlier. Not that I was saying it wrong. Micros are the ones that you need less. Sorry about
Micros
that.
are for people with 9 to 5 jobs.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that they literally want to fucking include us so they can take our money.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a way
okay.
though, if you're looking at taking profits at multiple areas, I mean, you're better off trading micros though, because you can sell off like.
Fact. You know
like
the time decay and all the like the Greeks going into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like think about it like this. I mean, unless you're trading like like you got like a a sizable port. For most people, like most people aren't trading with a quarter mil. You know what I'm saying? If you're trading regular like minis, you're just you're gonna be have to sell that contract. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like it's not like
Wait, for every buyer there needs to be a seller.
No chance.
it's funny on
Wait.
ICT. Literally, will like that dude's a fucking animal. He'll literally buy a contract just to like see how it affects the market. If that makes sense. Or buy a couple contracts and he'll take like $1,000 loss. He's like, that's part of the game, guys. That's testing the market to see how it reacts. I was like, what? But he does it like live, and like he does it in like a way where it's. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like he'll do it, and they're like, yeah, that's gonna be a good reaction. Then he'll just like put like
God, that's
40
them looking
contracts.
licked.
That dude will trade
They'll
like
say he's putting
40
a feeler out.
Yeah, feeler, and then he'll put like 40 contracts, like at the bottom of like a lick rate before you've got any kind of like stuff most of the other smart people use, and you're just like, this dude's a fucking psychopath. He makes racks though, dude.
Yeah, he does.
I was watching one, and he made like
bogus.
had his P&L, and he made like 30K in like an hour. Like, and he was just like totally like, yep, that's a really good day now, guys. I'm gonna go have lunch. Thanks.
That's what's
Awesome.
so
It wasn't even like an
Yeah.
hour. It was like 40 minutes, bro. It was literally like he's like, all right, looks like we're gonna reverse.
9:30 to 10, bro.
Yeah, literally some shit like that. And I was like, dude, holy fuck.
Yo, those 9:30 to 10 days are the best.
Yeah, it's that.
So nice. That's why I love the minis because you can be done like early as fuck.
Yeah.
One little
You're just
Tesla play
like
goes
crypto all
right.
day. You can be like sitting at your desk waiting for the setup.
Yeah,
but
that's
if you
one
can
thing. To
in
be
with, like,
honest, I mean,
get
I'm
done.
more and more considering starting to switch to like heavier like focus on like forex indices, because crypto price action is cool and all, but it's just not the same in my opinion. Like it's
Yeah.
inconsistent, like what works and what doesn't. And these concepts work, but like I see a shift a lot. Like for instance, you'll start to see Bitcoin really reacting to internal change of character at times. You know what I mean? And it obviously has to do with all the context here and like the liquidity you've swept and all that. But even back testing it, like ever since we came down into this like under 30K range where we've just been sitting, it's been pretty just like chop. You know what I mean? Which would kind of go in hand in hand with the Wyckoff. That's the one thing that I did like, because it's like isn't the purpose of whatever like the STP or whatever jail, that the purpose of that is to like exhaust investors and like drown
No,
out.
that's just the purpose of Phase B.
That's
Phase B
phase
is
B.
just
That's
a
right. And
long
phase B in general.
trendless trading range that exhausts supply and knocks out any weak holders.
Exactly. So that was the only like, or not the only, the main parallel I saw. I was like, okay, like that sounds pretty accurate. See, like Bitcoin just doesn't look strong here yet. Like you're starting to get those little runs up, but it just looks like it's part of a pullback to the downside.
A lot of people think, what's it called? Ranges like are from like a lack of action, but they have like the most action out of anything.
Right. It takes the most action to hold that range.
It's basically a battle between supply and demand. Bulls and bears.
Litecoin probably just got that 15-minute change of character. I guess that was for closure because I got that a while ago. Do I have another alert down here? No. Guess that's just delayed. Trading View does that. Let me see. I don't even think I put for closure. Yeah, no, I put only once. All right, just now get that alert. It's so weird.
Dude, Trading View, like the alerts are tweaking.
So I thought, I thought that, but like to be honest, I've always been like, no, you're probably just missing it. But that's weird because I actually just.
I mean, yeah. To be honest, most of the time, I'm probably just missing it. But I don't get alerts on my phone, which is fucking annoying. Like, let me know so I can.
Yeah,
so I can do
it's if your
something about
PC is
it.
open. That's the main problem with that.
Oh fuck, baby! I caught a top. That's such a good feeling.
Chipotle jail.
Damn, bro, you still want that Chipotle?
I forgot about that too.
You sound broke.
Dude, yeah, I'm down bad.
It's okay. That's how college students are.
Yeah, it's kind of not fun at all. My spending habits do not fit what I fucking have. It's so bad.
Well, where are you at school at, homie?
I go to Colorado State.
Oh, nice. I lived out in fucking Boulder and then Denver like a few years ago. The best area.
Yeah, no, I fucking love Colorado. It's so nice out here.
You're up by Wyoming, though, right? Fort Collins.
Yeah. Close as fuck to Wyoming. I hate Wyoming though. Go through Wyoming for 6 hours to go to Jackson and nothing but like grass, like burnt ass grass.
Yeah, 80's weird. 80's weird out in Wyoming. Are you talking about like Interstate 80 or like a different way, like 70 up into 80? Or is that's Nebraska?
I miss skiing in fucking Rado.
Yeah, dude, the skiing is so nice. A Basin is still open. We went there last weekend.
Damn, yeah, I used to have that pass, that like icon or whatever pass that you could just go to all of them.
Yeah, that's what I got. It's so nice.
That shit's clutch.
It's you. I get that shit for like $600, so it's like half the
damn,
like perfect.
That's clutch as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's so nice. Like my 4 days at Jackson Hole, like paid for the entire pass.
Damn.
It's
You
like,
just need to get like a little RV or camper and go plug up there, and you can just be a ski bump.
The Bitcoin's
Yeah, that's
tanking.
facts. I mean, just start
Hit the slopes all day.
get the slopes nonstop. Wyoming is so sketchy. Like,
Oh yeah, fuck.
you're driving through it with like a bunch of bud in our car. Like, dude, this is so sketchy. Like, we get pulled over, we're all going to jail. That was some bullshit. Coming from Colorado, where it's like you can get that shit easy as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I went out of Colorado to Iowa one time and was sketching out going through Nebraska.
Yeah, no, it's so
Nebraska, they're heavy on it too, dog. They're heavy on it out there.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Really heavy.
This is fire.
Loaded down.
Yeah, I think the new strat is 2Gs, 50% trim, bro.
The
And then runners
fuck?
make bank.
Oh, never mind.
I'm joining in on that.
Yeah, like once you're
done
on once you're like kind of like up at these areas, it's like I don't even want to trim like more than 50% if too early, because you know you might be catching a good area.
Jesus, what a fucking move you caught, Composite.
Yeah.
That shit's fire.
Fuck, I wish I
He's
would've
an
followed
odd
on that.
buddy.
Even yesterday, I looked at it. It was just like slightly down. I was like, "Oh fuck, I missed it. Oh damn, I didn't miss it."
Fucking 173%.
On what
170,
level?
yep. 175 on 50x.
Nice.
I want to see a return up to this area, but this displacement's pretty crazy. I'm just chilling though.
What? Now that we broke that other low over there, you want to see it return?
Yeah, like for me, this was like the break of structure in the 15-minute, which you could look
Yeah.
at zones down through here, but I'd like to see a return up to this area, ideally.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna bet on it.
Yeah.
Supply's pretty clearly in control of the market, but we're definitely bearish, confirmed on the M15 for me.
Damn. That could basically validate this whole thing as a redistribution pattern.
Yeah, I think at 100. That's 100% what I think it is.
That's what I think too, but just don't know yet.
Dude, I keep muting myself and it just keeps confusing me.
Yeah, using logic, I mean, we could even come back all the way down to 27,000 and not break this low and then reverse from there.
I feel like it's going for that low if we go that far.
You think? What'd you say?
I think it's going for the major low, the 4-hour, if we go that far.
You think so?
I do.
I still have a what's it called?
I think minimum you're gonna take this low. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
I think I was still looking for 27.5 because that's underneath the 27.9 liquidity, and that
yeah,
was
I could see that,
that was like
maybe.
the 50% of the wick, I think, and there's a fractal demand zone there, and that's the original demand zone that gave us any type of push to the upside.
Yeah,
Like basically using that logic, this zone gave us a 20% move to the upside. So I'm definitely expecting a reaction from there, if not a reversal. So if we come all the way back down there, I'll probably look for longs again at 27.5 like I originally planned. Because the thing is, the volume, there's a lot of volatility within this range that signals like redistribution, but at the same time, like I also see like signs of supply absorption, which is what has me leaning more towards accumulation.
yeah. Bitcoin jumped off the cliff, didn't it?
Yeah.
This area is going to be a big POI for me, really up anywhere in here. This is where you really started to see that selling. This would be the fractal of this wick and then also this last candle.
I hope we come back up there.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to chase it if we don't. Oh wait, I'll pay attention to other key zones, like these like sell to buy areas like this. Because on a 1 hour, that's probably going to be a sell to buy. Oops.
I think
Yeah, like
Playboy
somewhere
did
here.
mention
Or buy
that
to sell, I'm
higher
sorry.
time frame fair value gaps work as well.
Oh yeah, I
Because I
mean,
know
for
we
sure.
have that big ass 4-hour fair value gap too. Which I think I want to say I remember a setup like this before.
Can't tell this is an inside bar as well. Yeah, it is. I'd watch this whole range as well, right here. Anyways, I'm gonna hop off here and go to the gym. As always, I appreciate you guys. I might hop back on after we get back. I'm not sure though. So, but if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And yeah, just be safe out there. I think there's gonna be some good trade setups. Maybe even buys or sells at some point, but I'm more waiting for the shorts. But I would keep an eye because everything's when you see this kind of displacement, setups like to present themselves after the smoke clears. But anyways, until tomorrow, I'll see you guys later.